I'm sorry that the door is closed and opened and closed and opened if you have pets. You know exactly what I mean. Bye. Man, I really set the mood with this one. Hello and welcome back, folks. I feel like Mozart has been pretty strong for me this year. How y'all like the Lacrimosa? I also say that since I worked on two Mozart concertos earlier this year, just the exposition. Anyway, getting lost in my train of thought. The original photo finish shadow primer is gone. It's gone. Well, it's been reformulated, okay. But still, it's a little devastating. And the people are not happy about it. I'm not even happy about it myself. And I haven't had the need to buy an eyeshadow primer now or anytime soon. I noticed a change about a year or so ago. I think it was in my favorites list. You know, when you go to your Ulta profile and you heart things and kind of show up in there. I believe that's where I noticed it, since a dead giveaway about it was the packaging. The packaging's different. The cap and the silver color of the packaging looks a little bit different, and it also looks longer based on my perception. I haven't seen it in person, at least. Um, but the original packaging, it was still in a tube, but it was a tad shorter, and the cap on it was black. Um, I was digging pretty hard to find when the primer first launched, and I wasn't able to find a specific date anywhere. All I can say confidently, sort of, was that it must have been released somewhere around 2014. From Musings of a Muse, she posted a review of the Photo Finish Shadow Primer on June 2nd of 2014. The product she received was a PR sample, and I totally appreciate that disclosure. It actually says it like right on the corner, right above the picture. Considering the time 10 years ago, it's really good to see that because y'all know who need to do better. We all know. We all know. This particular primer, the Smashbox Shadow Primer, was my holy grail. Right. And I'm kind of putting this in quotes as in Holy Grail primer because I feel like it's gotten overused. But yeah, it was generally one of my top notch, like, this will not fail me. And the difference that I saw without a primer, at least as in for my eyeshadows, was like I was shook. It was great. For example, with my eyes, I've hooded eyes and they're small. As soon as I open like my eyes, like the whole lid just disappears, and so therefore I get really easy creasing in that area. And you know that look, where like the color just saturates on that crease, and it's like, and it's kind of gone right. Not cute. So I gave this one a try, and I never had a problem like that with eyeshadows since. So really depends if you need an eyeshadow primer or not, because it depends on your skin type and the way your eye shape is. For a lot of the times, you can make do without. Um, but for example, if you have like a couple of shadows are a little hard to work with, then that's when a primer really steps in and kind of takes care of the problems for us. Now, you may ask, why didn't I hoard it? Why didn't I come back to it? Yes, all valid questions. The answer is, I had too much of other shit. That's why. But I knew this is the formula that I like. And by the time I was running out of the Photo Finish shadow primer, I was testing out how cream eyeshadows compared to a primer. And it turns out I like both. To me, what made the shadow primer special was the fact that I needed so little of it. Luckily for me, I have kind of small space around the eyes anyway, so just the tiniest minuscule amount, I was good. That thing lasted for fucking ever. That's all I remember. I remember hiding it for a really long time when I first bought it. It had, no, this is kind of going off of memory. It had, in my opinion, a kind of clay silicone type of feel. It leaned towards the matte side, but it was not drying at all. I have tried the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Both have a very similar feel and texture, but I like the Smashbox one more because, like I said, it has more of that kind of clayey type of it has to be that dimethicone in there because I'm pretty sure that's like the first ingredient. I will put a side-by-side comparison on the old formulation of it compared to the new one of the Intense 24-hour shadow primer that they have now. It is different. That's all. Other than people saying that it's different and it feels different, at least it's been put on by Smashbox. So yes, they're two different formulas. Both are very similar, but I feel that the Smashbox one is more clay-like, and because of that, I like it better. Had no qualms with the Urban Decay primer. It was just, I could tell the difference between them. I also didn't care for the doe foot applicator on the Urban Decay one. I feel like it didn't need it, but that's just me. Now, it could be my product specifically, but in my experience with the primer potion, it's separated a little. And looking back, that might make sense to why Urban Decay, why they would have their primer in a doe foot rather than just kind of a squeezy tube compared to what Smashbox has. I always felt like something would separate, and it's kind of like an oily type of separation, but not quite. At least it's whatever emollient is that makes it help spread quicker, because it still had very similar that kind of like smooth clay silicone feel, but there was something else mixed in there that made it softer, that makes sense, or like to kind of spread out. I didn't care for that feel though. Performance in terms of like what the primer did, it did its job. That I didn't mind. But I knew as I was like finishing the product, I was not going to repurchase it, and I was going to lean back to Smashbox if I were to go through the primer route instead of the cream eyeshadow route. Now this is actually another discontinued one, and this is by ColourPop. I believe what replaced these was the shadow sticks, if they still have those. Very comparable to the MAC paint pots, like nearly identical. Yeah, wrapping thoughts on the Urban Decay. The texture of the product itself wasn't runny though, but again, it was definitely a little bit thinner compared to Smashbox. And I know that they have a matte version of the shadow primer. I believe it comes in kind of like a gold taupey type of packaging. But I don't see if it'll truly be much different. I could be wrong. Board formula, I'll look them up if board formulas are the same, or if something else is added separately to make it matte. But yeah, those at least, but I'm not sure. Something worth testing down the road though. I really want to do a comparison, or at least kind of like a revisit the experience with the current intensity or intense primer that Smashbox has. At the same time, I don't see the benefit of buying one right now for testing purposes, but if that's something y'all want, I will do it, right? Because you guys are coming here for the content, and I will provide with such content and entertainment. And probably test it out with the Milani one. I'm sure people have already made those videos out there, but the Milani one's actually been on my favorites list. I haven't tried it, but only because to see if it is comparable to the Smashbox one. My mom says it is, and she's tried both. Now, I do regret not snagging one when I saw them in stores or online. This is about a couple years ago. Naively, I didn't go back to purchase it since I had the idea that they will still be there. That is such a lie. I feel betrayed. Well, it wasn't there. Not anymore. And I was curious if like it was just the packaging was different, but when I was reading through the comments, because I'm a comment reader, excuse me, the reviews, I don't know why I do it. Um, I'm interested on how people shape their opinions, and I just I'm just that way nonetheless. I don't know what else to say. I got curious on people's thoughts on the updated version. And as I said earlier, people are not happy. They were actually really fucking pissed. Don't quote me on this. I will double check, but I believe there's less amount in there compared to the price point from what it used to be. But I will double check on that. I also saw not only on just Ulta's website. I believe I saw this from Smashbox website too, and the reviews on there also like not the happiest as well. And I believe it was there where I saw like the company themselves replying back to one of those reviews, and they suggested that you need to use even less product. I can't attest to that again because I haven't tried the product myself, but I wonder if that's true. I wonder if they reformulated to use even less product, because there has been instances where, especially with that the type of primer it is, if you add too much, then it's nothing's gonna like stick onto either. Very curious indeed. Now, when kind of going a little off script here because I didn't finish it, but I want to say Smashbox reformulated it or released it about 2-3 years ago. When I say maximum 2 years, because that's kind of where I see the Reddit threads, at least with the questions asking for like a dupe or questions to really solidify if it's been truly discontinued or not. And I'll also all those links are going to have in the description box so you can take a look at yourself per my sources or sources that I found. But that sounds about right, timeline wise, because that's I know it wasn't this year. I know I noticed the change last year. Again, haven't bought it since. Also, as I've been reading through the comments, people have been suggesting the Milani as a good backup. I didn't look further down enough to see very similar comparable ones to the shadow primer, but obviously people have also been suggesting the Urban Decay primer potions as well. So I think this was a good healing session for all of us. My first video in the series was MAC's Zoom Waterfast Lash Mascara, and that one I was very sad. I don't think sad even fully addresses the emotions that I had when it was discontinued, because I believe I bought 2 of them. I used it at least. I made at least a repurchase because what was great about that mascara, and you can I'll have that video link down below as well, is that it kept my curl, didn't make my eyelashes crunchy, lasted the entire day, and was waterproof, which is one quality that I like about mascaras. Then it was gone. It was gone. I remember that the MAC sales employee, according to them, the Hot and Naughty was supposed to replace it. I don't think I tried it, but I was just too heartbroken to even consider giving it a try, because it's like I found it. I found my holy grail, my it girl. I know the one I can depend on. It was just gone. With that being said, do you have a love that's been discontinued? Or are you just as devastated as I am? Have you completely let it go? If you haven't, feel free to tell me in the comments below. I'm trying to think of other ones that have been discontinued. Now, at least trying to make sure I differentiate the series compared to the Was It Worth It, kind of the post-hype review. So that's going to be mostly for this that one's going to be mostly for limited edition products, and because there was a big hype, and generally a lot of them tend to be collaborations. I know one for a fact that'll be coming up soon because I've had it busted out recently. The Becca Jaclyn Hill collaboration. Is it? Okay, there we go. Making sure that's not upside down. I feel like this would be a really good one to touch base back after so many years. I did have the eyeshadows that went with it, but I ended up returning it because, yeah, performance issues. Oh, and it just so happens that these two were actually launched around the same year. And I, I'm not going to do it right now, but something soon that I do want to get organized, I guess, within my stuff. It's like, how much shit did I buy in 2016? I feel like 2016 was the year of a lot of collaborations, or at least things that got released. This is being one of them, the Manny MUA Makeup Geek, the Take Two on Becca and Jaclyn Hill, because there was Take One, which just champagne pop beforehand, then they went with a full collection. Yeah, we'll see. And given, I mean, the fact that I wasn't completely broke in 2016 compared to now, and I was able to afford them. It was fine. But something definitely I'm not doing nowadays. My socials will be showing up here any moment now. I do hop on Twitch. If Star Trek it has been your thing, feel free to pop up, pop on over there. I'm having a blast, learning more things, and really testing my attention span, despite the aneurysms that I give poor Jasper, or as I call him, Setup Wizard, Juice Buddy. It's been fun. It's one way I do like to bond with him, because clearly he's not into beauty and the makeup and everything, aside from just music, because we do tend to butt heads with music, but that's because I'm more of the romanticist, right? I'm the neoclassical. Well, fucker over here is the experimental. Be like, no, let's push boundaries. Let's see what other sounds can be made. Blah blah blah. Anyway, we have fun here. But yeah, let me know if there's a product out there we should talk about, aside from the ones I just mentioned. Also, because we're coming from the Thanksgiving weekend, I do want to give a shout out to the former school I was teaching at part-time. And they had their Giving Tuesday a couple days ago, in which they've just been keeping track of donations. And a lot of that goes into like their school activities, like the camping trips that they do, school supplies, because kids be kids and can't take care of a freaking Chromebook. If no, no pressure, but if you can and you do have the resources, go ahead, show them some love. I will have the website down below, but you go to cascadesmantle.org, you go to the top right under their giving little section, and that there'll be a link that'll take you to the school's PayPal. I believe as long as you leave your contact information, like name, phone number, email, they can forward you or get you like a tax receipt for those who wish for it, because tax season is coming up too. Good lordy. All right. I'm hoping this video comes up soon. So, and anyway, if to keep up with my shenanigans, follow me on my socials. And oh, the next pet reveal, we're going to push it to 50 subscribers here. And I'm also getting really close to 50 followers over on Twitch. And it's just, I'm so super close to get to affiliate. I'm just glad, like, the journey I'm on, it's going on well. It's a little bumpy, you know, with the whole computer crap and my stuff breaking down, but we'll move on. We'll survive. All right, well, thank you all, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye.